Alien Earth needs no introduction anymore at this point. It is something that has got fans either in a fucking chokehold or they point blank just don't fuck with the show. And for me, I am in the camp of being in the middle, but mainly towards liking the show, right? It's an interesting show. Now with one episode left, I want 6 and 7 because I think the show is pretty damn good so far, but by no means a masterpiece. So spoilers ahead. If you love the content so far, subscribe for more, and yeah, let's get this show started. So for starters, the episode has us see Wendy speaking with the xenomorph who is growing. It's kind of cute in its own weird, murderous, alien sort of way, but her brother seems to think that this is pretty bad, of course, right? And away from all this craziness, and even devised a plan for her and him to escape, which everyone is looking at him like, brother, it's not going to happen, right? But we have a situation with Nibs getting one of the scientists fired because he feels like he morally can't just erase her memories for multiple moral reasons, right? But the guy, his fucking name, but basically told him that they are products and to treat them as such. And yeah, he basically confirmed that the wife can and would do this, and says that he's fired and to erase Nibs' memory of the eye and the ship and everything. Basically the last like few days, right? Erase her memory. And soon after this, Boy Cavalier to meet with Weyland Yutani about the ship and its cargo. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of boring and not really interesting in that sort of aspect. Like, their meeting was cool for half a second, and then I wanted there to be more double meanings, more passive aggressive threat, the two more cat and mouse sort of creation. But it was more just Boy Cavalier controlling the whole conversation, getting everything he wanted, and exposing Weyland Yutani's misdeeds, and not both exposing like each other's bullshit, right? Like, it would have been interesting if Moro had a copy of BK talking with the engineer to expose BK and be it's sort of from that could have been really interesting. We didn't get any of that. We then got Wendy talking to Nibs about everything, but Nibs, with her memory of the accident wiped, looked like fucking crazy to her, essentially. Later, she went over to the scientist who did it, like the wife, I forget her name, and basically calls her out on it, and now understands that some real fucked up shit is happening here. Like, she has been ignoring it this entire time, right? Then we got Toodles, while going ahead and doing a solid for Kirsch, feeding the specimens. The eyeball in the goat causes him to get trapped in another room with a fly alien thing, right? I think it's the worms that evolved from all the blood they were drinking. I could be wrong. Anyways, the fly comes in, and honestly, I right, but he just got shit on by the acid, man. The acid kills this poor boy, and honestly, again, like, I liked him a lot. He was like the second most interesting hybrid so far, but now he is gone, which to me fucking sucks, right? The eye is such a little asshole. I'm just gonna be honest. It is kind of funny, but it is crazy that this eye is smart to do all this, and it's interesting. I'm not gonna lie. This does connect to the fired scientist. I think his name's Arthur. I think it's Arthur. So slightly doesn't want his family to get murdered, and he tries to get Hermit into the room, Wendy's brother, but that because Hermit went fucking elsewhere, I guess, and then he stumbles upon the scientist. Yeah, it is Arthur, now that I'm thinking about it. After Hermit talks to him and warns him to take Wendy away, and basically disables like the trackers on all the hybrids, and slightly goes into the lab, is like kind of like wondering like where the fuck is Toodles, what's going on with Toodles, right? And runs over there, slightly takes this opportunity, of course, to release the doors for the xeno eggs, and a face hugger jumps onto his face, latches on, the rest, right? Slightly then takes him into a fucking vent, and, you know, sort of hides and takes. And this motherfucker Kirsch has been watching everything. God, I love Kirsch. She's such a good character in this goddamn fucking show. And, you know, I really love Moro too. Like, these characters are probably the strongest in the series by far, right? The most interesting characters in the show, besides, of course, the fucking aliens. Like, they're interesting as well. I can't speak. They're interesting. I almost said well as well. So fucking stupid. But yeah, that was pretty much the ending of episode 6. With episode 7 is where you know, is where it picks up from the last episode, of course, right? And honestly, I really did kind of enjoy this episode until a certain point, right? I think it was really interesting and enjoyable to watch everything unwrap. Then it kind of just stops, right? Now the episode picks up from where Slightly has Arthur underneath his bed, and Shmi comes in and sees this and freaks the fuck out, of course. And honestly, hearing the kids' dialogue hurts my soul, but at least something was fucking happening, and Shmi was doing something, right? So they decided to take Arthur because that's where Moro wants to meet them at, or meet Slightly with Arthur with the chest burster inside of him, right? At the same time, BK and Kirsch access what's going on in the lab, bag up Toodles. BK gets more interested in the eyeball goat motherfucker. And then Wendy comes in and wonders what the hell's going on and what happened to Toodles and that they're not safe anymore, right? But not until she sort of kind of like looks at her little baby xenomorph and kind of like, in a way, talks to him, or like gets them scared in a way, or preps the xenomorph, right? Which, you know, when she goes ahead into, I forget the other hybrid's name, the girl one, the one that wants recognition. I can't name, right? But she goes off to the rest, or whoever she can find, and finds Nibs, who got her memory wiped, and then she meets with Hermit and says, hey, I want to go, I want to leave, etc., right? But not before letting her teen xenomorph free and letting it tear up the unit, not the unit, the lab, of course, and everyone. It's crazy work, right? Kirsch does help Slightly and Shmi by telling them where to go to get to the beach faster and so on. Of course, this is part of his plan, like his big old plan, right? For Weyland-Yutani. Hermit, Wendy, and Nibs are outside until they get found by either security or Weyland-Yutani at this point. I don't remember. And only for them to get destroyed by a juvenile Xeno that Wendy is controlling like a mother, which is crazy as fuck, right? Speaking of Weyland-Yutani, after Arthur wakes up, I think this is before the scene with Wendy, or maybe a little bit after. I can't even think right now. You know, Arthur wakes up when Shmi and Slightly are taking him over there. He's sort of like questioning everything, and then the boys are kind of like, no, come over here. And then when they finally get to the beach, and he's like, come on, whatever you're going through, I'll help you through it. And then when they're following him, the chest burster decides to do its thing, and Arthur dies on the fucking beach, right? And the chest burster escapes. And the boys, freaking out, just takes the body over there to the meeting point. Moro has his with him, and they take the boys. They discard the body because they don't fucking need it. Then they get captured by Kirsch, who knew everything of fucking course. Not gonna lie, a little anticlimactic, but we will get another chance, another episode where things get more fucked up and more stupid. But goddamn, this shit hurts my soul to see Moro's plans just get stopped like this. And how perfect everything kind of fell again in the Prodigy team's lap, right? Which is kind of, you know, a little bit annoying again, but it's fine. We got another episode. We'll see tomorrow, right? BK is having a ball with the goats and testing his intelligence. And it would be crazy if this eyeball alien thing is the thing he has been searching for, the thing that he can have. Crazy. But then he gets the idea to put it in a human body. And while people feel like he will try to put it in Hermit's body, or it will escape and get into his body, I think it will be crazy enough if it enters Toodles' body, right? And it has already tried to take over Nibs, and Toodles already has the busted ass melted eye. So maybe this could work. We'll see it in the episode tomorrow. But the end of the episode has Wendy, Hermit, and Nibs make it to the boat, but it was a trap set by security. And while Nibs continued to be pretty cringy and, you know, kind of hard to hear with her dialogue and actions, right? Her one thing of ripping off that dude's jaw, though, fucking insane. I'm not gonna lie, pretty fucking cool, crazy shit. And Hermit stopped Wendy from summoning her kid, which was nuts. And then he fried Nibs, and with her yelling, "What did you do? What did you do?" And then the episode ends. And honestly, I liked the episode. I liked the episode when it was slowly decaying into chaos, but after a certain point, I'm kind of like, this is okay, I guess. Like when everything was grinding to a halt, when everybody was getting captured, I'm kind of like, this is not what I wanted, but this is okay, I guess. We'll see in the next episode, I guess. But yeah, honestly though, they were gonna have, honestly, I thought they were gonna have like the Xeno hatch in the facility and cause chaos there for Whale and Yutani to move in. Why they wanted to go in by beach, then infiltrate when there really isn't any real chaos yet, to be a smoke screen. The soldiers against the Xeno in the forest. Honestly, that what the fuck was that? Like, all these guys have weapons and none of these guys can kill or shoot the Xeno at all in this open space in the forest, which is pretty unbelievable though. But damn. Damn. Like, you guys couldn't like focus fire on it when it was like destroying another man. It's a juvenile, right? It's not as developed as an adult, but I guess, right? I guess. But besides some minor things, personally, the direction of this episode, I would have gone somewhere else, but this episode is decent, right? It was good. I'm not gonna say it's, you know, mid or anything, right? It was interesting. It had a lot of stuff to it, and I hope the finale will make this episode better in tandem, since this is a setup for, again, the finale. Right? So yeah, I think it's going to be a good series overall. I'm not gonna say it's a fucking masterpiece or anything, but it is good. I like it, and that's okay. At least the alien scenes are good, besides the ones where it chooses to take its time with the main cast, which is pretty fucking annoying, I'm not gonna lie. But what do you guys think of episode 6 and 7? One more episode to go, everybody, and goddamn, I can't wait for tomorrow and episode 8. Right? What do you guys think of the episode? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more, and see you guys next time. Stay safe, emotionally and physically. Peace.